On cam, Putin's FAB-500 bombs hammer what Russia claims were key Ukrainian drone infrastructure and military positions. Russia unleashes a fresh wave of powerful FAB-500 strikes against what Moscow says are Ukrainian military targets. Moscow claims its aerial bombs smashed key elements of Kiev's drone command and control network. Putin's devastating FAB-500 strikes send massive shockwaves across the battlefield, Russia says in new footage. Russia said its FAB-500 guided aerial bombs destroyed a Ukrainian drone command post near Zolotoy Kolodezh during the latest strikes. Another FAB-500 strike reportedly hit a temporary deployment area used by the armed forces of Ukraine near Zakharovka. Russia's defense ministry said long-range missiles and Gerund drones struck multiple military targets across Ukraine overnight. According to the Russian Ministry of Defense, the targets included defense industry facilities, fuel storage sites, and military airfields. The reported strikes targeted military-related facilities in the Kiev, Dnipropetrovsk, Poltava, Cherkasy, and Chernihiv regions. Overnight, Ukraine also attempted what Russia described as a massive drone attack involving 625 long-range UAVs. The ministry said Russian air defenses intercepted 613 aerial threats across multiple regions during the large-scale attack. Russian aerospace forces also bombed Ukrainian drone control posts and temporary troop deployment positions, Moscow claimed. Russia said FPV drones disrupted Ukrainian logistics and struck enemy personnel operating in frontline combat areas. Gerund drones also destroyed a fuel and lubricants depot supporting Ukrainian military operations, the Russian Ministry of Defense claimed. Meanwhile, Russia's Vostok Group outlined details of what it described as the capture of Lesnoy in the Zaporizhzhia region.
Наша задача заключалась освободить населенный пункт Лесное, БПЛА расчетом. Разведка проводили, обнаруживали пункты опорников противника, после чего отрабатывали FPV-дронами и продвигались малыми группами, штурмовые группы. Заходим аккуратно, без всякой спешки. Бывают такие моменты, что пути подхода бывают заминированы. Растяжки, такое и все прочее. Да. Заходим аккуратно, но желательно в кратчайшие сроки заскочить в опорник, чтобы не стоять на поверхности.
В самом Лесном все равно стрелялись, бои были, но не такие интенсивные, как на подходе к нему в лесополках. Просачивались ночью, пончо и так далее. Очень хорошо помогает, да, скрывает. Тем более сейчас погода такая, как говорится, благоволит, да, нам. Поля нагреваются, все нагревается, и то есть в пончо ты без проблем можешь двигаться в ночное время, чтобы быть незамеченным. Штурмовики двигались и просачивались сквозь боевые порядки противников. То есть везде противник не может сидеть. Вот, когда, то есть там двойка-тройка, да, боевая просочилась, она выходит противнику в тыл и начинает работать в тыл противнику. Он не ждет их оттуда.
As tensions with Russia continue to rise, Germany is preparing to dramatically expand its military by injecting hundreds of billions into defense. Germany is reportedly planning to borrow a record 800 billion euros, roughly $940 billion, to finance a sweeping military expansion program. Berlin is expected to raise the massive sum by 2030, reaching borrowing levels not witnessed since the Cold War era. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz reportedly intends to raise an initial 200 billion euros directly from international financial markets. The planned overhaul in military spending represents a 12.5% increase over Germany's current borrowing levels, according to the Financial Times. In a major twist, 11.6 billion euros from the borrowed funds has reportedly been earmarked to continue supporting Ukraine's war effort. The borrowing package will also finance upgrades to domestic infrastructure, including transport networks, hospitals, and critical energy grids. German officials have cited two major reasons behind the country's sudden decision to dramatically increase military borrowing. Berlin says it is increasingly alarmed by Russia's continuing war in Ukraine and the broader rise in tensions with NATO. Germany is also reportedly concerned that US President Donald Trump could scale back Washington's long-standing security guarantees for Europe. On July 6, NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte urged alliance members to present credible plans for achieving higher defense spending targets.
Here in Ankara, I expect nations to present clear, concrete and credible plans to reach that 5% goal. And the evidence we see so far is impressive. I had a good visit last week with President Trump, and we discussed the staggering increase in defense spending by Europeans and Canadians. And of course, this is because of Putin and Russia and Ukraine, but also because President Trump, has been extremely forceful, encouraging us to do this. I think we are in really good shape. And massively, the Europeans are stepping up. Look at countries like Germany and so many others. And of course, if one or two still have to be convinced, we have ways to do that.
With geopolitical tensions continuing to intensify, Russian President Vladimir Putin also relocated his multi-million-dollar yacht away from European waters. Russian President Vladimir Putin's $133 million superyacht has reportedly moved beyond the practical reach of Volodymyr Zelensky's forces. Putin's luxury vessel has reportedly departed European waters and sailed toward Russia's far northern coastline. Maritime intelligence data, reviewed by The Telegraph, revealed the latest movements of Putin's high-profile yacht. According to The Telegraph, the Graceful sailed from the Norwegian coast toward Russia's strategic port of Murmansk. Putin's superyacht is reportedly being escorted by 2 Russian warships while remaining protected by anti-drone defensive nets. A heavily armed Russian I-class destroyer and a 7,500-ton patrol vessel are reportedly accompanying the yacht throughout its voyage. NATO is reportedly maintaining close surveillance over the movements of the Russian presidential superyacht. German and Danish naval patrol ships reportedly shadowed the Russian vessels during their passage through the Baltic Sea, according to the report. Concern intensified after Putin's superyacht was reportedly detected sailing through Danish territorial waters. The reported transit marked the first confirmed sighting of the Graceful since the Ukraine war began, amid heightened Moscow-NATO tensions. The Graceful's departure from European waters comes as reports suggest Russia may be preparing to test NATO's defensive resolve. At the same time, Russia has upgraded its deadliest Condor-M ballistic missile with an advanced new guidance system. Russia has upgraded its deadliest Condor-M ballistic missile system as tensions with NATO continue to intensify. The 9M723 Iskander-M ballistic missile has now been equipped with a newly developed guidance system. The Russian-made guidance suite, known as Kometer M12RVT, was identified in a report by Militarini. With the new guidance package, the Iskander-M can reportedly survive far longer in heavily contested battle spaces. Iskander-MS new guidance system, key features. System: Kometer M12RVT guidance suite. Major upgrade: 12-element digital antenna array. Navigation: supports GLONASS satellite guidance. Flight phase: navigation during initial and mid-course flight. Anti-jamming: enhanced resistance to electronic warfare. Terminal guidance: Kometer R8 tail guidance module. Heat protection: high temperature resistant antenna arrays. Accuracy: improved precision against target. Electronic warfare challenge: reportedly requires 11+ jammers to disrupt. Technology expansion: Kometer modules also used in drones and guided bombs. In 2025, Russia also upgraded its Shahed-type drones with advanced antenna arrays, according to reports. Russia's guided bombs were also modified with Kometer antennas to better withstand electronic warfare. These missile and drone upgrades have forced Ukraine to expand electronic warfare operations and strike key Russian facilities. Meanwhile, a CSIS report estimated total casualties in the Russia-Ukraine war have now surpassed 2 million. Between 400,000 and 450,000 Russian troops have been killed since Moscow launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine, said CSIS. Even as Germany ramps up defense spending, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky continues seeking additional military and financial assistance from allies. On July 6, President Zelensky made an urgent plea to the United States and European partners, calling on them to immediately bolster Ukraine's air defense capabilities to protect civilians and critical infrastructure from escalating strikes.